You may have organized your estate, but have you prepared your death folder? Here with us today is estate lawyer Rose Shawlee to share what information you should have available for your family. Rose, welcome to The Wealthy Life.
Thank you for having me. It's a treat to be here.
You've piqued my interest. I know about being organized, but what is the death folder?
It is the go-to for everything somebody needs to know if you have an incapacity event or pass away. And it sounds morbid, but not only should everybody prepare one, but they should label it bluntly. Something called transitions is useless in an emergency. Something that says, I'm dead, read this, completely tactless, but useful. If I'm rushing because my parents have gone to the hospital, and I need to find where they've got their healthcare instructions, something that's labeled that way is going to direct me where I need to be without me shuffling through all of the papers they've accumulated for 50 years.
Should it be a certain color?
I personally think if you bedazzle it, you're off to the races, really add some panache, but I'm very, very open to color choices.
And you should let your family know, obviously, in advance where to find this important information so they're not stuck scrambling. Where do people normally keep it?
It's all over the map, and I have preferences, but I would say that there's no right or wrong answer. There's a wonderful hat company, and they have this process with their warranty card where they tell everybody, put your warranty card in your left desk drawer. So in an emergency, when you call us and say you've destroyed your hat, we're going to tell you to go look there. So I personally stole that, and I tell all of my clients to store it in their left desk drawer or note on where to find the key information. But how to store it really just is secondary to making sure you've told somebody where to find it. I can prepare beautiful estate plans. I can prepare beautiful death folders. But if nobody knows where to look for it, it's completely worthless.
That's right. And so should it be in hard copy or digital? It's hard to bedazzle something on the computer, isn't it?
I suspect it would lose some of the flair. I tend to favor both. I'm an overkill kind of person. I think that's just my nature. When you're dealing with hard copy, there's the immediate ease of it in that people can access it even if they don't necessarily have the password to your devices. On the other hand, some people just think in a digital way and they prefer that. I don't think either is right or wrong. I think the key to both is letting people know where it is and how to access it. And on both of those, access is really important. So before we went full tech, people used to store these in their safety deposit box. And then they'd put the answer to where is the safety deposit box and do I have one and where's the safety deposit key in the folder in the box, creating this lovely little impossible circle. And the same thing happens in the digital sphere. People will create all of this information or set up a password manager and they'll store all of that exclusively digitally. So as long as you tell your people how to access it, you're ahead of the curve. In the absence of that information, all we've done is torture you in putting it together, and it's just a very painful exercise for nothing.
Well, that doesn't make sense for anybody involved. So let's talk about some of the components in the death folder. Obviously, your will and list of beneficiaries, insurance policies, investment accounts, all that type of stuff should be listed?
Absolutely. And I'm a big fan of indexes because this is a document that is only as useful as it is current. If I prepare this 25 years ago, and now my executor is looking at it, this is just a nice little archaeological exercise to see what my life was like 25 years ago. If it's current, it's really meaningful. So if you have an index that you prepare, every year when you do your taxes or whatever your system is, pull it out, make sure it's current. And when you put your information in there, I generally recommend don't try and write it all out yourself. I am one of those people who is completely justifiably accused of having terrible penmanship. If somebody had to read my checklist that I wrote out, good luck. So too, even if you're typing it, what if you get typos in there? Your best bet is for every account you have, investment, registered, day-to-day, whatever it might be, take a copy of the statement, put it in there. If you close an account, take it out. If you open an account, put it in.
Oh, that makes it so easy. Now, I'm going to talk about some interesting situations. Let's just say someone's got their organized death folder, they've passed away, and who comes to get it? Is it their kid? Is it their spouse? What about other situations? What are some of the things you've seen?
Well, I think it comes back to what you raised at the front end, is it's about access to this. Making sure the right people know where it is and how to access it is vital. But it can always end up in the wrong hands. And for people who may have complicated family dynamics, whether it's a blended family, people who just might not share the same values, whatever the reasons may be, making sure that only the people who are supposed to access it is quite important. And there are those really complicated circumstances that might not be considered intentional planning, but there may be multiple significant others, there may be misters or mistresses. Really, there's any number of spins on it. And they may go intentionally looking around for information, thinking that they just want to see what's been provided for them.
Oh boy,
Making sure
so
this
are you
information is
saying-
secure.
Are you saying that you might have the spouse and the boyfriend or the girlfriend both trying to access the same piece of information?
And it happens more often than we might hope. And unfortunately, I've received phone calls where both the spouse and the extracurricular individual have contacted us saying, we found this document, so-and-so has passed away, I need to discuss it with you. And at some point, all of those conversations will be had, but you don't really want to have them right when that crisis is at the moment of onset. You've had a major health event and you need to immediately move forward with management affairs, or you've had a passing and you need to make funeral arrangements. I mean, in a perfect world, these circumstances would not arise, but if they do, having secure access to things without adding those complications will reduce the overall stress level and will save you a whole lot in legal fees.
Okay, I'm super motivated to get even more organized than I thought I already was. Any final tip for our viewers today?
I would say don't forget about our kids. We like to really focus on the assets in these folders because they're important. They're the mechanics of what the lawyer and the accountant and the insurance advisor and everybody else is going to ask about. But if you have kids, make sure the information is there about allergies, extracurriculars, what are family traditions and values that are important, where do people go for the holidays. Those are things that will help add continuity and take some of the stress out for the kids if we have to immediately transition their entire life.
Rose, that is fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Sybil. I'm so grateful that you have this platform to share this information.